Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas, boys and girls! Ho, ho, ho! Oh, wait, it's not December. Well, it might as well be, because I'm Coaster Cat, aka Roller Coaster Rider, and we're going to talk about Holiday World in Splashin' Safari in Santa Claus, Indiana. Opened in 1946 and as Santa Claus Land, and becoming Holiday World in 1984 when they added 4th of July and Halloween. They've since expanded in 1993 with with Splashin' Safari Water Park, and in 2006 with Thanksgiving. Well, in this one, this is dedicated to Will Cook, and these are my top 5 ride additions to Holiday World, a park I've been to in 2004 and another year that I'm going to put right here, I believe 2015. So I'm going to take a look at this park and see 5 rides that could make it a little bit better. They're all family friendly, and hopefully they're all within Holiday World's budget and height and space requirements. Let's roll. Ho, ho, ho! Number 5. A new steel coaster. I know what you're saying. Oh, a B&M Hyper, a B&M Giga, an Intamin Launch, blah, blah, blah. No. I'm talking about a family coaster. Well, this park is already family friendly. This park is family friendly, but when you look at all their coasters, excluding Howler, when you take a look at Thunderbird, when you take a look at Voyage, when you take a look at Legend, and when you take a look at Raven, those are pretty extreme rides. They're not the most extreme, but they're pretty extreme considering how the park doesn't have that middle tier coaster, something to go from Howler to something like Raven. So here's what I'm suggesting. One section of the park that has been, kind of neglected in terms of expansion is the Christmas section. If you don't know where that is, that's essentially in the front of the park, and it has Rudolph's Reindeer Ranch, which is a kids area, and it has a bunch of shops and stuff there. I'm not sure how much land the park has around that area, but here's my idea. A Zamperla motorbike coaster. It would still have a height requirement of 48 inches. However, this one could be designed to be tame enough, and it wouldn't have steep drops and sharp turns the way the other coasters do, and it doesn't have inversions the way Thunderbird does. This ride can easily be themed to your Santa, and you're riding on one of his reindeer. The ride even has antlers, has handles that you can use as antlers. Zamperla offers a version of their motorbike coaster called the Pony Express, and anyone who's been to Knott's Berry Farm knows that that's a pretty fun family ride. It does launch, so it might seem kind of repetitive, but it's a completely different ride from anything that they have in the park. The ride could have a series of hills, turns, while being good scale. So it's not Howler 2.0, but it's also not Raven 2.0, and it's not Legend or Voyage 2.0 either. This would make a wonderful addition. It would draw more focus to for the most part, kind of a skipped section, and hopefully it can play around with the woods because, as we all know, Holiday World loves to have their coasters play around in the woods. Ho, ho, ho! Number 4. 2 flat ride ideas for the Thanksgiving section. The Thanksgiving section, while it has been expanded, it's still really small, especially when you compare it to other sections in the park, especially their 4th of July and to a degree their Halloween section. So I'm going to suggest 2 flat rides. Holiday World, these are family-friendly rides, and you can add and you can pick whatever name you want. First up, a Music Express / Alpine Bob's. They can purchase it either new or refurbished because Holiday World lately has enjoyed purchasing refurbished rides, as you can tell with the Firecracker, which was refurbished. My idea is a Music Express type ride. However, instead of playing, hits of the 80s, 90s, 2000s, or whatever, maybe the thing can just maybe the thing can just play turkey gobbles like. Did you like that? That was not a sound effect. Could you tell? Anyway, and also something else, and I love this name, and I've had this name idea for a while, and you probably are gonna know who I am because I've suggested this multiple times. Call it the Gravy Train. Think about it. How perfect does that name make sense in the Thanksgiving section? And it's a perfect pun. You could even sell shirts that say, I got gravied at Holiday World. It's perfect. It's genius. It's brilliant. Now that I think about it, with that right there, I guess Thanksgiving is pretty full. Halloween could use another attraction if there is space, or Thanksgiving. So here's what I'm going to suggest. A Zamperla Disco Coaster. No, this is not a major roller coaster, unless you're Cedar Point. And what it is it's essentially, if you've, what's a good example? It's essentially a small version of a Revolution type ride, except that it has a hill in the middle of it. And it is very family friendly and very fun. I know of people that get motion sick and get sick on spinning rides that like this type of ride. If it goes in the Halloween section, I don't know, maybe call it, I don't know, theme it to a spider or something. And if it gets added to Thanksgiving, I don't know, call it cranberry, theme it to cranberries or something, which I'm sure is possible. So, 2 new flat rides to the Thanksgiving section, or a new flat ride to Thanksgiving and a new flat ride to Halloween. Ho, ho, ho! Number 3. Do you guys remember a ride called Pilgrim's Plunge, aka Giraffica? If you don't know what it is, it was a gigantic water ride that splashed down, and they got rid of it after a couple of years due to maintenance problems and maintenance worries, and probably just maintenance difficulties. So they've got this good-sized pond that is just left there. So what are they supposed to replace it with? One of my favorite suggestions that I've mentioned several times here, a splash battle. This type of ride is perfect. It's a water ride that gets people wet. It has good size capacity. It's a family attraction. It doesn't have a high height requirement, and it could be themed to what could it be themed to? You could theme it to Boston Harbor. That kind of works with the Thanksgiving section. You could call it Turkey Beach or Turkey Bay or something, and it can be linked with Splash and Safari. It's a water ride that you don't have to climb up countless steps in order to do, and it's something that isn't too tall. And by Mack or Zamperla, which both of them they have a pretty good relationship with, especially Zamperla, this would be a wonderful attraction to replace the Giraffica Pilgrim's Plunge with a brand new water ride for kids for all ages. Number 2. You know how I said that Halloween has been kind of neglected a little bit? I mean, when you think about it, their most recent ride was Hallowswings, I believe. So I feel that they could use another new attraction. So here's my suggestion. A Vekoma Madhouse. I know what you're thinking. Isn't this going to be a little too scary for Holiday World? It might be, but if you theme it to Kitty Claus, which is their mascot for the Halloween section, I think they might be able to get away with it. It is not a thrill ride. It could be if you don't exactly know what to expect. Here's the best way I can describe it. You go in, and there's a pre-show, and optical illusions happen. Then you go into a room that has long rows, like a bench that you're sitting on. So you sit down, and during that time the lights go out, and the entire room twists and turns. You stay completely still. You maybe move, slowly rock back and forth, less intense than Mayflower, to give you an example, okay? That's a swinging ship there. The ride the ride rocks you slowly back and forth while at the same time the entire room is spinning 360 degrees. You don't go upside down, but you feel like you're going upside down because so many things are turning at the same time. This is a very good family attraction. This is a very fun attraction. This is a very re-rideable attraction. And with the park starting to expand their season, this is an attraction that can run day or night, rain or shine. This is fully enclosed, and it doesn't have a high height requirement, and it is very marketable. Ho, ho, ho! And the number one thing that I think Holiday World should add? Take a guess. That's right, water park expansion. I have two ideas for this one. One could be either slide boarding, which is essentially like a Nintendo Wii, or probably Guitar Hero, except on a water slide, where you get to pick a song and you go through and it goes through a light show while playing that song. So you can pick one of 5 tracks and it goes through it, and it'll remember it, so you don't have to go through it the same way. You can go through 70s, then you can go through 90s, then you can go through 80s, then you can go through, I don't know, country, techno, holiday, I don't know. You can go through those various things. This is something that is very unique and not many water parks have it. So I think this would make a wonderful attraction, and let's face it, Splash and Safari could always use more slides. And the other thing that I'm going to suggest, a fast-moving lazy river. A fast-moving lazy river to take you from... This slide can be used as transportation to either take you from Wildebeest to Kemo Bay, or to take you from Kemo Bay to Hyena Falls. They would probably have to add some tunnels somewhere to go underneath the Crow's Nest and Thunderbird, but they can still probably make it work. By doing something from Kemo Bay to Hyena Falls allows those separate sections to merge together and become part of one large water park. Splash and Safari, it does say that they are the same water park. However, when you go from Kemo Bay, there's an extremely long walkway to get to Hyena Falls and then Hyena Springs, and then after that, that's it. There's nothing else there. Plus, the park lost a lazy river with the Plus, the park lost one of their lazy rivers, the Congo River, when they in 2012 when they made room for the new Splash and Safari entrance plaza. I know they have the Bahari River, but hey, if they can have 2 wave pools and if they can have 2 family play areas, why can't they also have 2 lazy rivers? Ho, ho, ho! So there you go. This was my top 5. I understand that this top 5 wasn't as big as maybe some of my other parks, but a majority of those parks were owned by chains. This is an independent family park that, well, has, no offense, but an independent family-sized budget. So, I hope you enjoyed my top 5. I hope Holiday World, I hope you guys enjoyed my top 5. Will Cook, rest in peace. And, I guess I need to do a hint for my next one. This one was kind of mild, so I guess the next one will be wilder, because aren't things wilder the second time? Bye!